In this video, I'm going to show you a feature that I guarantee you that nobody else has in any other software package. It's called the group member function. I'm going to go into the designer and explain what I'm going to do. If you look at the tree structure here, you're going to see the HGSI top 50 and also the option volume. Now, these option folders are updated every 30 days automatically. Once from the CBOE and once from the OCC, or the Options Clearing Corporation. They contain mostly the same options, but the OCC also has a lot of ETFs, and there's just a lot of activity there. But I wanted to focus exclusively on these two folders, so I used this group member function in the views. Now, these views, filters, and combos I just modified this week. They'll be going out to members of my Insider Club this weekend. If you're not a member of the Insider Club, you can join. It's $25 a month or $200 for the year, or if you're a trial member, you get it free for 30 days. So it's very worthwhile if you want to keep up with what I'm doing. So let me explain this. In the warehouse view, I have created, both in the end of day, I had to put it at the end of the tree structure here, and in the intraday scorecards, and it says stocks with active options. I'll go to the end of day, which would be the end of day data yesterday on December 6th, 2017. And these are the stocks which meet the criteria. And actually, what I need to do is I want to go into all securities rather than this folder, because it'll give me everything which passes from both groups. And the reason for that is, when I created the filter, it's a very simple filter. I use this group member function. If these securities are in the CBOE 300 most active or the OCC 300 most active, they're going to appear through this filter, even though I'm in all securities, because they are being directed, or the group function directs it to those folders. So this is from yesterday, and you can see that Restoration Hardware was at the top of the list based upon strong momentum. You can also see that it was up for the day, and there was a percentage price change of 0.07, and volume was above normal. Let's see how Restoration Hardware is doing today. So I'll just bring up a chart, and you can see that it tried to go up, but it's holding steady. Now let me go down to the next view. This is the same filter, but I added a fan up requirement. So I go from 359 securities all the way down to 168. These stocks are in a long-term uptrend because the fan is intact. In other words, the 18-day exponential moving average is above the 50, which is above the 100, which is above the 200-day. These are all exponential moving averages, and you can see these stocks are in an uptrend. Let's look at Michael Kors. Clearly in an uptrend. Now, these are in a downtrend. All of these are referencing those two member groups, or the options groups. Now, I'm going to move on down to the intraday. That's the end of day. Let's go to the intraday. And these are going to be in folder number 17. Like I said, these have not been released yet. And they're only going to go to the Insider Club. So I'm moving down to the intraday. Thinkorswim's running in the background, and at the top of the list, using my strong momentum combo, which is attached to this, First Solar is in this complete list, or both of the groups. Now notice that the ultra short 20-year Treasury ProShare is in here. It's up. These are all up today because they're showing strong momentum. So there is a mixture of both stocks. There was an update, stocks and ETFs. Now if I want the active options with the fan up, I click on this, cuts it down to 168, and you can see that First Solar's on top and YY is second, Facebook is third. So these are stocks that are trading active options. Let's take a look at First Solar. You can see that 2 days ago there was an effort to rise as it bounced off the 50-day. It moved up. There was some selling yesterday, but today it really took off as the group is moving up. So the stocks that trade options actively are where the action is. And there are some big names up here, as you can see. Now, if I want to concentrate only on stocks with a fan that's going down, I can maybe find some stocks that are starting to move off the bottom here. Notice the green numbers here. Let's look at Finisar. See, it's clearly in a downtrend, but there is some support coming in. Now, I don't recommend that you buy non-trending stocks, but there are opportunities here. I'm going to go back to this intraday scorecard with active options with the fan up. I'm going to, once again, I'm going to take a look at First Solar, but I want to know how many options this trades on average. So what I am going to do is go back to the designer, and if I click on the CBOE and then go up here and click on the Customs Group Report, it's going to bring up an HTML page. And then if I do a Control key F for find, I can type in FSLR. It'll take me to it, and I can see the number of contracts that are traded on average. I'm going to clear this out. I'll do a Control F again. Let's just type in BABA, and you can see that BABA is near the top. These are the top options, or the ones that are most actively traded. Now, if I go to the OCC, click on that, you're going to see that the ETFs are in here, and the SPY is the dominant ETF with the total options volume. As you would suspect, Apple's near the top. Here's the Russell 2000, Bank of America, Facebook's up here. GE, which has been moving down sharply, is in here. But this is the way you can find out the total options volume. Now, there's a lot more I could say about this, but I want to keep this video short. I do want to show you one more thing. Let's go. I mentioned the HGSI Top 50, which is generated daily. I'm going to click on that folder. I'll go back to the warehouse, and I am in stocks with active options. This is intraday, but this works end of day also. So what you can do as a trader or investor is you can go into any group and you can apply these views. You can see stocks with active options. There are 9 of them, and all of them are up today with the exception of the CME group. The fan up, that cuts it down to 7. They're all up with the exception of the CME group. Now, if I go to any other folder, let's go into the Woodward and Brown Smart Groups, and I'm going to use the LOUR based upon moving average extensions. I can come in here and I can quickly see what these stocks in here are doing today, the stocks that trade actively in the options market. So here is SRPT. I'm going to go back to this, click on here, Control Find, and it does show up in the OCC, and you can see that its options volume is lower, but it is still among the top 300. So this works extremely well if you're interested in either trading options, or if you're just interested in following along with the most actively traded options instruments, both stocks and ETFs. This is the way to do it. I'll be teaching a lot more about this when I do my webinar series. And like I said, I really don't have time to get into a lot of depth on this.